C.L. Harmon turns real-life battles into powerful mindsets that stick with you. Not everyone dares to write the truth. C.L. Harmon lives it, then shares it. His journey isn't fiction, it's survival, reflection, and awakening in words. C.L. Harmon doesn't offer comfort. He offers a truth so real it might change how you see everything.
A little while, but I'm going to catch up, read a couple here in just a little bit, but I wanted to share something I'm really excited about before I read those. So this is my book, Chopping Down the Tree of Knowledge. And now this is not a book of mindsets. This is a different type of book that I wrote. But I'm very excited because this past week it reached #1 bestseller on Amazon. So this is, I would love for you to check this out. This is, like I said, they're not mindsets, but it's a really great look at how our belief systems in life and how that fits in with God and life and everything. I feel like it's a really good perspective to look at how we are in life and how we got there. So anyway, I hope you'll give that a chance. It's available on Amazon as well. And so now, to jump right into a couple of mindsets, we'll start with this one right here. There are those who will lend you a hand when you have fallen into a hole. They will extend a reach or throw you a rope to pull you out. But until you are ready in heart and mind to be free from the depths which hold you, the efforts to free you will always be just out of reach. And the second one. Pain has a memory. It remembers. It protects. And though it may subside and lay dormant within, it never leaves us. This is so we learn and always remember that every decision we make should be made with the mind in conjunction with the heart. And those are your mindsets for today. This is from Climbing Out of Hell, which is actually my most recent book. This was written actually after this book, but this book came out with a post-published perspective that I came back and looked at what I had written a few years later. So, and talked about that. So, interesting little aspect of this book. Anyway, I do hope you will check these out and continue to follow me and like these videos and these mindsets. Thanks so much.
C.L. Harmon's words don't just speak, they confront the silence you've been living in.
Pretty much what I look like when I wake up, although it's not morning. Usually when I do a video, I'm going to talk about one of my books, Chopping Down the Tree of Knowledge, Chopping Down the Tree of Knowledge, or Climbing Out of Hell. Talking about some positive message, putting something positive out there. But today I haven't felt so positive. Actually, for about the past week, I haven't felt so positive. So I thought I would just talk. And one of the things that I've been thinking about is what people expect when they pray. What is their expectation? What do they think happens when they pray? Do they picture God sitting up in heaven thinking, yeah, this is a good prayer, I'll answer this one. I'm not so sure about this one, maybe I'll put it in the maybe pile. That one's a definite no, we're not doing that. Is that what people think? Is that a logical inference as to what people think God does? Does God think that some prayers are more important than others? Does he think, I like this person better than that person? I mean, was there something maybe a little more simple? Something that I discovered when writing my book, Chopping Down the Tree of Knowledge, that I write about. I don't think that way. I don't think God divvies up his prayers and says some are okay to answer and some aren't. It doesn't even compute with me. I think it's a little bit different than that. I think if you pray for something that God doesn't want you to have, or something that's not right, I think God brings people into your lives, or He opens opportunities for you to be able to learn why that's not what you should have prayed for. I don't think He gets angry. I don't think He gets mad and says, I'm just not going to help you. I don't think that's what a loving God is or does. And I think when we pray for something that we really do, that's a really good prayer, that we really believe in, something that we love, something that's good, something to help others, I think God does the same thing, but He does it. He does it without. He does it with influence and without any type of force. So, in other words, He knocks on doors. He knocks on doors, and He says, "Hey, this person could use some help. This person needs some help. This person needs someone to talk to. You know, you have access to something that could really help this person." And honestly, we fail. We suck because we don't listen to God. Because we don't, so many people don't end up getting the help that they need, or getting the opportunities that they need, or getting what it is that God wants them to have. Now, I told my kids growing up, I said, God is not a wishing well. And I truly believe that. I feel like, and I talk about this in the book, God has done so much for us. And as any parent, what does any parent do at some point to your child? You say, look, it's time that you start doing for yourself and doing for others. Okay? Because I'm your father and we're all siblings. You're all my children. And I have an expectation that each of you help each other and stop expecting me to do everything for you. It could be as simple as helping somebody in the moment that's in need. It could be as simple as introducing someone to someone else because they need help, and this person might be able to help them or might be able to provide them an opportunity. You know, it's hard to say, but the world sucks because we suck. It sucks because we don't help each other. And I do believe that God has an expectation on each and every one of us to help one another, to stop looking inward and stop looking at ourselves and what we want all the time, and start looking outward and seeing other people not as strangers, not as people we don't know, not as people of different races, origins, religions, or whatever, but to stop and look and say, I'm going to help this person simply because I can, simply because they need it. And there's just not a lot of that going on in the world. What you do for something, when you do something for somebody, when you help them, whatever their achievements, whatever their joy, whatever their happiness is because of that, that's part of yours as well. That's the design. That's what that means. It means you get to share in that because you know that you were a part of that. That God knocked on your door and you answered it and you said, what can I do for you, Lord? How can I help? And He told you what to do. And I don't buy the excuse that people don't know that God's knocking. That He's not reaching out to them in some way and saying, I need you to go help someone. I need you to do this. I need you to help your friend. I need you to help this person. I need you. I don't believe that. No, what that is we simply choose not to listen because it takes up our time. It takes up our effort because we're afraid it might embarrass us if we help someone, or whatever feeble, lame excuse that we find that we think will help. It simply comes down to this. If you want a better world, do better in the world. Help everyone else, because every person that you help makes the world a little better place. Everyone needs your help. Everyone needs an opportunity. Everyone needs a chance. Everyone needs a kind word. Everyone needs help. It doesn't matter, because the truth is, whether we like to admit it or whatever we think, you're my sibling and I'm your sibling. If and even if you don't believe it, even if you don't believe in God, it doesn't mean that it doesn't make it any less true that He created all of us and He's our Father. I always thought it was very poignant that the Lord's Prayer starts out with Our Father. What other way, better way to convey the message that I'm your Father? That means that every person ever born is a sibling to another person. As you can tell, I've had a frustrating week. I feel like there have been people out there that could have done things for me, that could have helped me, that should have helped me, or should have things that I believe that God's up in heaven going, I hear your prayers, and I keep knocking on these doors, and these people don't answer. And that's what I feel. So think about it. The next time you see someone, or the next time, think about what you can do for someone else. And not what someone else can do for you, or not what you can get from something, but simply what can you do to help someone else? Because really, in all honesty, every time you pray, you're asking God for something. Why is it so wrong to believe or to think that He's asking you for something in return? You know, I've spent 25 years writing positive things, putting them out there, helping people, trying to do what's right to help people feel better about themselves, feel better about life, to find their way to God. And I wouldn't change 1 second of it. As frustrating as things are for me at times, because I don't...
He doesn't write to inspire. He writes to awaken the truth you're afraid to face.
I write mindsets, which I thought I would talk a little bit about today. So if you kind of look around, this is my, my place of serenity. So I love the country, and I love being out to hear the birds, and I'm fortunate enough to live in a place where I can do that. And so I thought I would talk a little bit about the mindsets and inspiration, sort of where they come from. And this is actually a perfect time because it's very stormy, and you can hear some thunder in the background. And anyway, so this when I first started writing mindsets, storms and things like that were really a huge influence. They affected my mood, and they affected sort of how I felt and how I looked at the world. It just sort of kind of all came together with all this power being around us, and then I'm in this little part of it anyway, and that began to really allow me to focus on things, I think, kind of on a smaller scale, because we're all really small in compared to creation. And so anyway, and those eventually would evolve anyway, and about things with everyday problems and issues and things, and might talk about things like with I'm having a crisis of faith at the moment because of something going on in my life, or something that's made me angry, or something that was unfair, or some sort of an injustice that's going on in my life. And what I found out as I began to write things was that I could take that and I could turn it into an anger, and I could use it to make other people angry, or I could take it and show the lunacy, the idiocy of the things that we do as human beings and how we do things. Now you're going to start seeing some rain come in, so this is even better. So kind of makes my point, but about being in nature and feeling it and being part of it. But anyway, and how it affects us. But anyway, so I took these things, and I said, you know what? I want to help people. I want to show people. I want to show them what it looks like from this very small perspective. And I think it's interesting. I was raised in a small town, a small community, in a rural part of the United States. And anyway, and I think wherever you're raised or wherever you're born, and your surroundings, of course, they're going to affect you, and how you think and how you see life. And I was very fortunate to be brought up in an environment where it was a very unique situation. Anyway, and it helped cultivate my own mindset, which
I chose to continue to explore, which we'll get into some other things. I want to share, I want to bring parts of my life to you in these videos, and we're going to move into some different areas, such as my books, and one of them being Chopping Down the Tree of Knowledge, which talks about belief systems and how they fail, and what role God plays in that, and what role we play in it. But we're going to move into those types of things with these videos, kind of move forward. But my mindsets are very special to me, in a sense that I've been writing them for about 25 years, and publishing them along that way in one way or another. So they've been seen by a lot of people all over the world. Anyway, and there's some stories as we move along that I'm going to share with you about different things and things that I was told about how mindsets affected a certain mindset. A mindset would affect someone, or how it helped them, and the same thing. So, but I wanted to take an opportunity today to really introduce myself for those of you that don't know me, and kind of tell you. I want to take you along this journey that I've been on for a long time, and I want to bring you on. And the best way to do that is through mindsets. And I would love for people to reach out and talk to me about them, and ask me about them, and comment them when you see them on YouTube, or you see me in a video with one, or you see me if you go to clharmon.com and you read them, or if you read one of my books that has a collection of them. I would love for you to reach out and let's talk and let's discuss. I feel like that everything that I do in my heart is to help someone else. I really want to be able to convey that my intentions are just to help people. Life is hard. It's very, it's very demanding sometimes, and there's a lot of unfairness, but there's a lot of good out there. And sometimes that good is in a few words that you read that help you through the day. And so, and I think we all, I know we all need that. We all need to be able to understand that there's a lot of positivity in life. And there's a lot of people out there who are really trying to put positivity in the world and help others. And so I want to shed light on that type of work, and even those types of people. I have many friends that are really good human beings that aren't getting rich, not making a lot of money, but they're putting out really good things in the world, just like I am. And so I want you to follow me and follow us, the people that really try to make a difference. So anyway, and like I said, I'm going to be making more of these videos. I want everyone to be a part of what I'm creating out in the world, sort of my legacy, if you will, or at least part of it. So please, reach out to me anytime. Send me messages. On clharmon.com. I really want to be able to share with the world what I'm doing. So. Anyway, and I hope that as I look around and I see just awesomeness of nature and how I'm fortunate enough to be surrounded by such beauty, that if I can be inspired by the things that are around me and the things that I read and watch, then you can too. We can all be a little bit happier. So I want to help all of us become a little bit happier. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. Anyway, and I look forward to the next one. And I'm really looking forward to getting to know you out there. So thanks again for watching.